Okay, today I'm going to do a video on this Badland winch, the Z XR 2500. And what I plan on doing is that I have a travel trailer that I used to keep in storage. But these guys are creeping up so high that I've got to put it in my backyard. My backyard has a little bit of a slope. And as a result, I'm not able to pull it up that slope. So I figured I'd hook up a portable winch that I could put on the back of my trailer, which I already put a 2-inch attachment, receiver attachment on the back of my lawnmower, not for the purpose of me dragging anything around really, but basically as a anchor for this winch. And it will be portable, so I can bring it to my car and I can bring it to into another lawnmower that I have if I want to. Now, several of things that I bought, and I saw people how they actually want to put together a portable winch. They were welding things together, and I decided to take a different route. Now this is the winch right here, and as you can see, it has its 2 bolt attachments right there. Now what I did was I got onto AliExpress instead of my usual Amazon, because Amazon, that's where they get their stuff from, and Alibaba is where they get their stuff from. So everything comes from China. These come from China. Everything comes from China. So I go straight to the source. I didn't go straight to the source because Alibaba, you have to buy a certain amount in order to get a certain price. AliExpress, you don't. But sometimes you'll find a good deal. So what I winded up picking up was this winch hitch cradle mount. Now, I initially started with this one right here. This is from Badland. This is from Harbor Freight. But then I've got to bolt or weld something on in order to put it onto the hitch. Well, lo and behold, this cost me like $9, $10, something like that. So what I did was I picked up this. Now, I got to tell you, the price on it, even on AliExpress, was about $25, $26, sometimes up to $30. For some reason, I was able to get it for $7 plus shipping, which was about $11 and change. I couldn't believe it. I think there might have been some type of mistake. So if I do happen to get these in bulk, I'll definitely leave a link at some future time in order for people to be able to do, this is less steps. You don't have to do any welding on this. You've got the plate already, which is similar to the Badlands plate. And I think the Badlands plate is a little bit off too. You have to drill a little bit more in order to get it to sit flush with these 2 mounting bolts right here. And then I've got the 2-inch of the attachment that I put on my lawnmower already, which this fits. And they also give you a pin. I was kind of surprised. Not only did I get it for $11, but I also got a pin as well. Now, as I said, this is not a usual price. Usually about $24, $25, but for some reason somebody wasn't watching, and of course I benefited from it. So, and this is the pin, goes with it. So basically this just mounts on here like this. You put your Fairlane, here we go, let me turn this around. Fairlane sits here in the front like it would on the Badland winch. Winch mount. It sits right here. This goes here. You bolt it in here. Then you bolt this on top of this plate here, and then you simply put this into your receiver hitch, either your truck or whatever you got your receiver hitch. So, and of course, it's got all the wiring. I can go through this another day on how I did this, but I really wanted to show this particular plate here. Because as I said, with the Badland one, the one you get from Harbor Freight, it doesn't have, you got to do some type of welding. You got to weld, or you got to attach, do some drilling, and you got to mount a receiver extension on there, hitch on there, and it just seems like a lot of work for me. So I got this one off Alibaba. As I said, if I start moving these, which I'm going to be looking into it, I'll put a link in whatever new video I put up there. So this way, you guys will be able to take advantage of this as well. And this is the side view right here. Of course, this hooks down here. I've got 2 mounting bolts underneath as well. So I will mount it to this, The Fairlane goes up top, and then of course you put that into the receiver. And then you know, a lot of people are doing things where they're doing the wiring and to like 18-volt batteries and different things like that. And I've seen success with that. I haven't done it myself. I haven't even powered it up yet. I'll be doing that on a later video, but I just wanted to show this to you guys for today. Thanks for listening. What I like about this winch plate, unlike the Badlands, which is over there, is the Badlands doesn't exactly line up with the holes, but this one does, the center holes. With the Badlands, it looked like I experienced that I would have to actually drill a little bit extra space for these holes, for these screws to go in. So that's one thing I like about this, other than the fact that I don't have to do any welding unless I just want to put some more accessories on here. Making it a portable winch, I would like to maybe weld or bolt a handle on it, and of course plates for the battery if I plan on using an 18-volt battery with an adapter from a drill or something like that, if that's what I plan on doing. Right now my plan is to use a car battery because since it'll be portable, but I'm going to be testing out various features on it. So I'm going to put in the bolts now. I'll be right back. The kit comes with shorter and longer bolts. I tried to put the longer bolts in there, but looked like they were interfering with the wire here. So I put the shorter bolts in. We have ones that are twice the length of these, and those are the ones that I put in the bracket. Let's see how things go from here. So just an overture of what I've done this evening. I received this about a week ago, but I was waiting for this mounting bracket to come up. I was originally going to use this mounting bracket from Badlands, but then I had to do a lot of modifications to it in order to attach it to a 2-inch receiver. If you look at Harbor Freight, you'll see it's like $12. Is a 2-inch hitch receiver that you can actually attach to your lawnmower. Now the lawnmower hole is a little bit small, so I may have to file a little bit of the inside of the lawnmower hole, and I'll show you that a little bit later on, what I did, and I'll also show you the receiver that I actually put in that's going to accept this right here. It's actually on my lawnmower. Now I don't think for 1 second that the lawnmower can actually pull my trailer or anything like that. I'm just using my trailer, my lawnmower as an anchor, probably anchoring it to a tree or something like that, and then letting the winch do all the work. Because I do have a slight downgrade in my backyard, and I won't be able to pull it up myself without, you know, I don't want to hurt myself, obviously. You know, of course, you know, that's the reason why I bought the winch. So, so what I have here, I'm most likely going to return this unless I find another use for it, because I already have this. This is the, now you want to take a look at the M-Lite. I'm not sure what the brand was, but I got it off of AliExpress. Now, the funny thing about it, too, is after I purchased it, I went back to see whether or not I could maybe purchase another one for my other trailer, or from other tractor, rather, and it was like triple the price. So I must have got some type of first-time deal or something like that. I can't explain. It was $7 and change, maybe a couple of bucks for shipping, $11. I received it. And it's pretty heavy duty too. I mean, it's just as heavy duty as anything you get at Harbor Freight or any other type of outlet that would actually sell these types of receivers, 2-bolt hitches and things like that. It's very heavyweight. Now, as far as the bolts are concerned, they gave me 2 types of bolts. One was a smaller bolt, but when and the bigger bolt. Now I put the smaller bolts down here. They're all the same tread, but these ones are longer. When I try to put it here, it would interfere with the cable. So, and I put it here. It's a little bit long, to tell you the truth. I may cut it anyway, just because it doesn't need that much unless I just put them on wrong. I don't think I did, because of the fact that it would interfere. These long ones would interfere with down here, unless I put them in the other way. Then it would be sticking out the bottom. That would be kind of silly. So I may just cut those. The Fairlane here, you've got, I already stuck this through. I released it here. I stuck it through, and I could put one of these on there. I could either put a hook or I could put a shackle on there as well. I'm not sure which one I'm going to start with. I'll make that decision tomorrow. Of course, I've got some other bolts here. I think they're to to the electronics over here to bolt them down. Of course, you got your remote switch here, which plugs into here, and then you've got your circuit breaker in here, and I'm going to be wiring all that up tomorrow. And you've got a remote control here, wireless remote control as well. So I'll be doing all that tomorrow. Today I just wanted to get it out of the box, put it together, see how this particular bracket, and as you can see the fairings on here, it fits perfectly. I may get a little bit bigger washers. So I don't know if they're big or strong enough, but I may get a few just larger washers for that, and maybe cut down these a little bit, because yeah, as I said, that's a little bit too big. And then I'll wire up tomorrow, see how it goes. So stay tuned. Before I forget, I bought a couple of other accessories, a snatch block and a tree saver to attach it to the tree. I don't know if I have to or not. As I said, the trailer is not all that large. It's a 5x8. Probably gross weight on it is at about 1,000 pounds, but it is at a slight incline. That's the only reason why I'm taking all these precautions. But I'm going to see tomorrow. Maybe a lot easier than what I think. I maybe just be able to chock the wheels on my lawnmower, and maybe that may be all I need, because it's not that much of an upgrade, but it is a little bit difficult trying to do it on my own. So I got a couple of things coming as well: a soft shackle and a handle for the trailer itself. So I'll let you know how all this stuff turns out. But it looks like the mounting turned out pretty good. It's pretty easy. What I probably will do is put a handle, maybe weld a handle on here, so I can, because this thing is kind of heavy. So I'll pick it up that way. And maybe I've seen some guys put like maybe angle iron back here, and then put these devices, the controller and the remote control, or the circuit breaker and remote control, over here, and then mount a battery for an 18 volt a drill, right, maybe on this side over here, like a 20 volt battery pack. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know whether I'm going to do that or not. You know, some people say it's okay. Some people say you burn up the motor. It's going to be a lot of issues. I'm going to give it a try. But I do have a 12 volt battery standing by. How strong it is, I don't know. It's been sitting around a while. I did rejuice it up, and I did reconditioning on it. So hopefully it'll suffice for what I got to do tomorrow, and that's just pull this trailer. Okay, good enough. Thanks. I would actually show you how I put this together. I wanted this to be weldless, because I've seen a lot of people welding, and there's some people out there who don't have welding machines. So that's not an option for them. And really, I'm just putting this together to put on the back of my lawn tractor, so this way I can pull a couple of trailers from my backyard. That's pretty much all I need it for. But I also wanted to make it adaptable, so this way I might be able to hook it up to one of my trucks and do some light pulling, or maybe some light recovery, not serious stuff, just some light stuff. So I wanted to make it completely portable. Several things that I did since the last video is I was talking about these bolts here, these ones right here, which go to the fair lane. I actually used the shorter bolts for the fair lane. I used the longer bolts to mount the bracket, and I'll probably wind up cutting off those bolts down there because they're just too long. I think they go through the bottom, and then if you want to attach it to something else, you can keep them on. But with the platform that I bought, with the hitch receiver that I bought, that's all in one. I don't really need to put it on anything else. Okay. So what I did here with the receiver is I'm going to put it right here, and I'm going to put a strap on it, one of these zip ties, a long zip tie. I put some double-sided tape on there so it would stay in place, so it wouldn't slip around. This is not going to be out in the elements. I'm not going to have it out there attached to anything. When I'm not using it, I'll pull it off of the tractor, and I'll bring it inside the garage, and then I'll bring it back out again. I'll show you how the rest of my setup goes in a little bit. Now I wanted to show you my sort of finished project. Now remember, this is a winch that will be portable, which means I won't have it on the trailer full time. I won't have it on the tractor full time. I won't have it on the vehicle full time, but it will be used interchangeably. So I've made it that way, so I didn't have to do any welding and things like that. So as you can see, I made my attachments here. Then I went ahead and tied the wires here. This is the receiver for the remote control, and also the wired remote control, which I'm not going to use. I'm just going to use this one for now. I don't see any, unless this malfunctions, then I'll use this, but of course it plugs in up here. So put in the wires here. Now what I did, I put a piece of double-sided tape underneath here so it could hold it in place, and then as you can see, I bungee cord, zip tied it here and here, just underneath. As I said, this is just, as I said, for the winch is going to be stored indoors and probably hanging up. Speaking about hanging up, I put instead of welding, I was thinking about welding a metal handle on it, but instead of doing that, I had some aviation, or actually boat rope, which I tied, and I put it here so I can carry this. It'll sit, pointing down, but I can carry this with one hand. I don't have to worry about stuff dragging. Now, as far as the wiring to the battery, I had to replace the connectors because the connectors that came with it were small, the little small ones, these ones right here. Okay, so I went in and took these off. I'm going to hold on to them anyway in case I can use them for something else. It's an application at some point down the line, but I've replaced them with larger ones. Now, I didn't have a crimping tool, so I used the old sledgehammer or the hammer routine. I'm eventually going to go ahead and get a crimper and do this the right way, but for now, this is what I got. So I did it on this. Of course, you have your circuit breaker, and then I did it on this one. Now, the reason being is because I'm going to put it on my, for now, I'm going to also test with the D-volt battery thing, but for now, I'm going to hook it up to my 12-volt battery. And I'm going to put it on the floor of the tractor. I may have some type of, so it goes here. Because the other ones are too small, okay? Now I'll put it on the floor of the tractor for now. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to take it from there, but let's go outside and see how I'm going to mount this on. So see that I braided the cord, and I put some little, these aren't zip ties, these are the little baggy ties. I bought about 300 of them in a bag, black ones. And I twisted both of them together, and then every 6 inches I put these ties. So this way, all this would be running together until it gets over to the circuit breaker, and then it splits, and then I can be able to put it on the battery from that point. So it's pretty easy. And when I get out there, once I tie it up, whatever excess I have, I'll use one of these cords to tie up the excess between where I mount the winch and where the battery is on the tractor. Now this is a 2-inch receiver that I got from Harbor Freight. On most of these tractors, you'll have a opening right here for any type of accessories. I had to open this up a little bit with a file in order to get this bolt in, and this is the adapter for the receiver adapter. Has a little hook on it too. I don't know what I'll be using that for, but anyway, I'm going to put the winch with all my attachments inside there. Give me a second. There you can see as I hooked it up. Again, this adapter, this mount came with a pin, so that was really good. So now I have I have my hook here, I've got my safety strap, got everything hooked up here, and then I've got my wires coming from here, which most likely I will route up right around here under the seat, put down the seat, and then the battery will go right here. Now I'm considering getting a battery tray and just sticking the battery here so this doesn't slide around. I'll just put it there for now for today because I'm just testing it. But the battery is going to go right in this area right here. These trays you can bolt on here, then you can slip the battery in this way it doesn't slip around. Again, I'm just using this to move some trailers from my backyard to my front yard, empty trailers. So it's not a big it's not a big ordeal. Let me get the battery in and let's test this out. This is how I mounted my battery. It came from the braided cord, where I braided it, put it between the PTO and the level switch here. And then I just ran it up, put the battery on the floor here, connected it right here, and it should be good to go. I may put something underneath it so it doesn't slide. I won't be going that fast anyways. It'll be mainly stationary, so it's not going to be all that. And if I do need to, I'll get a battery tray. That's if I use this battery. I am going to experiment with the lithium batteries, D-volt batteries. I've seen some people do that for a smaller profile as far as the battery is concerned. But let's see how this works. I'm going to turn it on. The remote control is on now. and we're going to extend it. So let me get this here. Extend. There we go. And then we bring it back the other way. Okay, so we're good to go. Now I want to go and test it on one of my trailers in the back. So let's see how all that works. Just to pull it to see what it'll do. I want to see what it does without chocks and without strapping it to the tree. And let's see how this pulls. Okay, so I hooked up the trailer. I did pull it up a little bit. You can see these little grooves in the ground. That's because I didn't put up, the wheel was actually sideways, and when I put it back, it actually made those grooves. So I straightened out the wheel right here, down there. I got to clean that up, grease it up, and what have you. But I cleaned it up, have it attached. I did put a chock on the back of the tractor. So let's see if this will be able to pull it up from that, because that's where that's going to pretty much stay. I got another trailer that's going to go right here, but this one's a little bit further down. So that's why I got the winch. So I can just pull these trailers up if I need them. For one's a cargo trailer, the other one is for junk and things like that. So let me go and turn on the remote control again. And I just got the chock on the tractor here. So let's go ahead and, okay, it looks like I may need to put a little bit of weight on there, so I may have to sit on it. Or I'm not going to sit on the seat. I'm just going to sit on the side right here. So this way I can film. Just put a little bit of weight on it. Looks like it did its job. So I was able to pull up. This is a Jiffy trailer. It's a 4x8 trailer. I just use it for junk. I'm going to redo it. As a matter of fact, the floor, it's kind of throw some particle board in there or whatever I need to do. But it's just for hauling junk and stuff like that. It looks like it worked out pretty good. So my winch setup was a success. Again, looking over here now, I put the ATV trailer hitch receiver right here from Harbor Freight. Then as you can see, I went ahead and stripped, zip tied the receiver onto the mount that I have here. This mount I got from AliExpress, Fairlane, and the 2500, and I zip tied this here and I braided this, comes along here, and it goes to a guy that sits right there. So that's my setup. That's pretty much all I need it for. And if I need to drag some stuff around the yard, I can do that. But that's pretty much it. So I think it was a success. Thanks for watching. Standalone setup. No welding, no drilling. Getting this mounting plate with the extension over here. And of course the 2500 comes with the Fairlane already. I put new attachments on here to attach to my battery posts. And that is pretty much it. So anybody, if you don't have a welder, if you don't have a drill, you can get it done. Just get these parts, put it together, and whenever you need to put it on your truck, just slip it on whatever receiver you have on your truck or on your tractor, and rock and roll.